He thought I was asleep, but I wasn't. His hand slid slow against my back, his breath hot on my skin, and when I finally turned to face him, our lips crashed in a kiss that burned with every secret we'd been hiding, a night of forbidden touch and trembling whispers that changed everything. And when the door slammed the next morning, I knew the danger was only just beginning. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. Please support me. I always here for your choices. The morning after felt like a dream I wasn't ready to wake up from. The air still smelled faintly of rain and his cologne, a mix of cedar wood and something darker, something that clung to my skin even after I showered. I caught myself smiling into my coffee cup as Ethan leaned lazily against the counter, shirtless, his hair still damp from the quick rinse he'd taken. Every now and then, his hazel eyes flicked toward me, and each glance was a silent confession. We both knew last night had changed everything, but neither of us was brave enough to name it yet. "You're really quiet this morning," he teased, sipping from his mug. I raised a brow. "So are you." His grin curved, slow and knowing, but underneath I saw a flicker of hesitation. That was the thing about Ethan. He looked confident, untouchable, but when his guard slipped, he was just a man afraid of ruining something fragile. The day drifted on in a haze of stolen looks and little touches. His hand brushing mine when he passed me a plate. His shoulder leaning into mine on the couch. By the time night fell, the air was heavy with all the words we weren't saying. I tried to sleep again, but this time I couldn't pretend. The sound of the rain had been replaced by silence, a silence that held its own weight. I tossed, restless, waiting for the familiar dip of the mattress. But it didn't come. Frustration bubbled inside me. Did he regret it already? Was last night a mistake in his eyes? I pulled on a hoodie and padded quietly into the living room. He was there, sitting on the couch, elbows on his knees, head in his hands. When he heard me, he looked up, and the raw emotion in his gaze stole my breath. "Madison," he started, voice low, strained. "I can't stop thinking about you. I don't know if this is right, but I cut him off with a kiss. No hesitation this time. Just truth. His arms wrapped around me instantly, pulling me onto his lap like he'd been waiting all day for permission. The kiss turned hungry, desperate, but still tender, as if he was terrified I'd vanish if he held too tight. His hand slid under my hoodie, warm against my bare skin, and I melted into him, the last of my doubts dissolving. "I don't want to fight this anymore," I whispered against his lips. His chest rose sharply with a breath. "Then don't." That night wasn't about hesitation or pretending. It was about surrender. About giving in to something that had been building between us for so long it felt inevitable. He kissed me everywhere, memorized me with his hands, whispered my name like a promise. By the time dawn broke, there was no space left between us. Not in the bed, not in our hearts. And yet, reality crept in with the morning light. Because Jenna would be back from Miami, and sooner or later, she'd notice the way Ethan's smile softened only when he looked at me. Would she understand? Would she be angry? As I lay against his chest, his heartbeat steady under my ear, I realized love wasn't just about stolen nights and whispered confessions. It was also about risk. About deciding whether something was worth protecting, no matter who might not approve. And for me, Ethan was worth everything. I just didn't know yet how far we'd have to go to keep what we had. Jenna came back on a Sunday evening, rolling her suitcase into the apartment with her usual burst of energy. I was in the kitchen pretending to scroll on my phone, while Ethan was already gone. He'd slipped out that morning with a quick kiss and the quiet promise that he'd call later. The second Jenna walked in, I felt guilt prickle across my skin. Not because I regretted what happened, but because I didn't know how to explain it to her. She was my roommate, my friend, and Ethan was her brother. "Miss me?" Jenna grinned, hugging me tight. She smelled like sunscreen and salt water, the Miami weekend lingering on her. "Of course," I said, forcing a smile. But all night, I caught myself drifting, back to Ethan's hands on me. His lips, the way he whispered my name like it belonged to him. I knew Jenna noticed my distraction, but she didn't ask. Not yet. The following weekend, Ethan came by again. This time, Jenna was home. He acted casual, dropping by with takeout and teasing his sister like always, but his eyes kept finding me across the room. Every glance felt like a secret kiss. It was dangerous. Thrilling. My heart hammered every time his hand brushed mine when Jenna wasn't looking. Every time his knee bumped against mine under the table. Later that night, when Jenna went to shower, Ethan caught me in the hallway. He didn't touch me, didn't say a word, just leaned close enough that his breath tickled my ear. "Meet me in your room later," he whispered. The simple request made my whole body tremble. But when Jenna came out of the bathroom, she gave me this strange look, as if she'd seen the space between us shift. The next morning, she cornered me in the kitchen. "Madison," she said slowly, eyes narrowing, "is there something going on between you and Ethan?" I froze. Coffee mug in hand. Heartbeat in my throat. She was too direct. Too sharp. "What?" "No," I lied quickly, but my voice cracked. Her eyes darkened. "Don't lie to me. I saw the way he looks at you. And I know you, Maddie. You don't blush like that for nothing." I opened my mouth, closed it again, my excuses tangled in my chest. But before I could speak, Ethan walked in, hair tousled, shirt half-buttoned. Jenna whipped around. "Unbelievable." "Jenna," Ethan started, but she held up her hand. "No, don't. She's my best friend. You're my brother. Do you have any idea what kind of mess this could turn into?" Her words cut, because she wasn't wrong. But Ethan stepped forward, his jaw tight, his voice steady. "I know exactly what this is, Jenna. And I'm not sorry. I love her." The room fell silent. My breath caught. He'd said it, out loud, raw and certain. My heart swelled and broke all at once. Jenna looked at me, betrayal and confusion warring in her eyes. Then she grabbed her keys. "I can't deal with this right now," she snapped, storming out. The door slammed, leaving only Ethan and me in the quiet apartment. His hands found mine, squeezing tight. "I meant it," he said, eyes burning into mine. "I love you. And I'm not going to let her, or anyone, change that." Tears stung my eyes, but they weren't from fear. They were from knowing I was standing at the edge of something that could cost me everything, or give me the kind of love that changed a life forever.